As we're getting close to yet again another new generation of gaming for Nintendo, I started noticing something with some of their IPs and games that are coming out soon, and it's the logos that kind of caught my eye. And I saw some people talking about it online and talking about how Nintendo's changed some of their logos so drastically from over the years. So I decided to go through all of their IPs and look at their old logos compared to their new logos and see exactly how they've changed and which one I like better. Do I prefer the old one or do I prefer the new one? Definitely let me know in the comments down below which ones you prefer from all the ones that I show today, but let's get started. Now, we're not starting in really any order. We're jumping straight into Luigi's Mansion because I want to. The original logo got changed around Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and it's essentially the same thing. It's the same font and everything. It's just a little more stylized now. I actually like the new version. It matches the ghost theme a lot more with this see-through green goo color, and a lot of it does match Gooigi for at least Luigi's Mansion 3, so I get why they made that change, and also it's more in 3D now, which I definitely enjoy, and I love the color green. It just makes more sense for Luigi's Mansion than the blue. So personally, I think the new logo is a lot better. Metroid has made a couple changes of its logo. The original was this 3D kind of angled backward text. They kind of kept that same look with all the other logos for the most part until we got to around Metroid Samus Returns. And then we started to see that angled text go away, no real color to the text. It was always just like black, gray, or white. And the same thing now with Metroid Dread. It's just kind of basic now. I actually prefer like the Prime series and the games around the 2000s that looked really, really cool. Right now, the text is just kind of boring. This one was very tough for me because I love the original Kirby logo. It's the pink with the little star in the B was just perfect. It matched Kirby, and now they've changed it to this kind of yellow and blue brickier 3D text. I actually somehow kind of like this new one more than the original Kirby. I know it matches Kirby better to have the pink, but I don't know. I just love the kind of kid-friendly vibe it gives off. I don't know, like, it's just like, this is a game that you're gonna have fun with your family. I don't know. I love it. I love the new logo. Sue me. Now, Pikmin, on the other hand, they kind of massacred my boy, because what in the world is this? Yeah, for Pikmin 4, they now changed the logo, and they've actually gone back and done the same thing to the others, which is like a soft rebrand of the franchise. I mean, even the story of Pikmin 4 was that. So yeah, it looks like they're trying to get away from their original design, which I hate. I hate that so much because the original design was so good. It was the Pikmin forming the actual Pikmin logo with all their flowers. It was perfect, and now they just do it for the number, where the actual Pikmin logo is just a solid color. I can see maybe some people liking this because it's more basic and it doesn't do too much, but I like it when it did too much. I like all the flowers. Give us back the flowers, please. Fire Emblem has had tons of different logo rebrands before the modern era, but I really like the Sacred Stones version. It's just like the thick text just looks perfect in my eyes. I don't know, I really like it. They definitely have gone more simple. There's nothing around the letters now. It's just very fine print, and it just kind of clean cut. Fire Emblem, you know what I mean? There's nothing around it or anything to really add to the logo, which is okay. I mean, I get it. It's simple, and I think that's what Nintendo's going for now with all their logos, is more simplicity. But I really like the thickness and the boldness of some of the original titles, like this Sacred Stone version in the middle here. I just love the thick text with the outline. It just gives me more personality. For Kid Icarus, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of logos to go off of because Nintendo won't make a new game. But yeah, I still like the new version. I do like how it had the heart and the little Pegasus wing in the original, but I just like how clean and the little 3D pop-out text it has in the new version. I love the font more, and I just love the little wing in the background as well as part of the logo. It just looks perfect. It's like a mixture of clean and unique at the same time. Now, I really don't plan on showing any games where the logos stay pretty much the same, and this is an example. I just wanted to get it out there real quick, but Xenoblade has only deviated from its original title barely, and that was with Xenoblade Chronicles X, where instead of it being kind of painted on, it was more typed on, and it looked more electronic, matching more of the theme of the game with all the mechs and everything. So I get it. Personally, I actually like Xenoblade Chronicles X's version. I like the more metal kind of feel to it compared to the artistic vibe of the original and the others in the game series. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X, it just looks cleaner to me. I definitely like the new version of Star Fox. It matches more the crew and exactly what the game is about. It's like this high-tech, futuristic space battles with planes. So yeah, I really like the new logo. It keeps the tail. It really keeps everything that was great about the original, but just adds some new color to it, some new futuristic vibe, and I love it. And then honestly, it's never really deviated from that new version besides going like blue once, but I really like the green version, so I showed the green one. The same thing with Punch-Out. Whenever I see the original logo, I can't really even tell if it's a video game or not. It looks like it could be like a food place or some type of store or something. I really love the new version from Punch-Out on the Wii. It obviously has new font that just looks a lot cleaner and goofier, and I love it. And also the two boxing gloves is just a perfect touch in the middle of the logo. I mean, they really outdid themselves there. Hopefully, if there ever is another Punch-Out game, they kind of build off of that text because I really like it. Yoshi's logo never really changed. It's always been the same, with the O being an egg that's slightly tilted to the right, so there's not really much to say here. Obviously, the new version from the top two is definitely better. It just kind of gives it this white, clean outline instead of the black one that kind of looks a little weird with the colors. But Nintendo has been changing the logo based on the design of the game. For instance, Woolly World was based around felt and wool and yarn, so it kind of had a yarn feel, and Crafted World was more arts and crafts supplies like cardboard, construction paper, stuff like that. So honestly, I think Crafted Worlds is probably my favorite. I love the 3D vibe of the text, and you can see like little construction paper pieces hanging out the back, which is just perfect in my opinion. So I am a big Crafted World fan with the logo. I think Woolly World's a better game, but I'm gonna have to go with the logo of Crafted World as my favorite. For the most part, all of the Donkey Kong logos have looked the same, and right now with Country and pretty much any modern Donkey Kong game, all they did was take the original font and just kind of put it into 3D and made it look a little cleaner, and now instead of the holes for the stars, they're just yellow stars. I think it's definitely an upgrade, and I think it's a perfect one, just taking the original and, you know, making it slightly better. The only other time we've had like some crazy different font was Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, and yeah, it was funky, and I feel like it matched that game perfectly because it was a lot different of a Donkey Kong experience that was more edgier and rougher and goofier as well. So I feel like that font is really cool. It matches that game perfectly, but for the entire series, definitely not. I do prefer what they are doing now with the simple 3D letters of the original Donkey Kong. But even if we were to take it way back to the original Donkey Kong, I still much prefer the color scheme and the way it looks in the new version. The red, white, and black just didn't really match Donkey Kong colors in my head. Mario Party has gone through a lot of different logos, from the originals on the Nintendo 64 to the GameCube era to the Wii to even the Wii U and the 3DS era, and even now with the Switch era, there's multiple different versions to look at and try to see which one's my favorite. Personally, I really love the Wii era with Mario Party 9 and Mario Party 10. Mario Party 8 kind of stayed in the GameCube era, but I love the multiple different colors, and the way the colors pop off the letters was just perfect. And the 9 and 10 was a really beautiful looking logo. I'm telling you, I love these. And what they've been doing now with Super Mario Party is just ugly. I hate it. I mean, it was a lot better with Mario Party Superstars, but Super Mario Party just has this weird rounded font that just doesn't have any color or anything, and the Super is just a weird couple of colors that they use. Personally, I'm just not a fan of that new logo, and I really don't like it. Mario Kart has gone through a couple of different logos, and really since Mario Kart DS, we've had the same style of Mario Kart logo, which is just this really basic Mario Kart font right beside each other. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the new Mario Kart. It is simple, I get it, but it's a little too simple, and I want it to have that Mario vibe with like the Mario font for one. And yeah, that's why I really do prefer the 64 and the GameCube font. I think actually the GameCube logo is probably my favorite. Double Dash just has the best logo in my eyes. It's fun, it gives off that Mario vibe, and even the Double Dash part of the logo, it's just a lot better than what we have now, which is just very serious. It's for a Mario Kart game. I don't know why the logos got so serious. Once again, with Mario Golf, we do have more of a basic logo now, where it has the Mario font, and now the golf logo is actually just still a golf ball, which is pretty cool. But honestly, I like the new logo. The golf club was a little tacky, and I feel like if they were to do it, it would have to be a better way it was incorporated into the letters. It's just weird how there was a random club behind the letters in the original. So yeah, I really do like what they're doing with the new Mario Golf logo. Mario Tennis has mostly stayed the same with his logos. All of the modern Mario Tennis games since like the the original has had the same Mario Tennis look with the colored Mario letters and the yellow tennis letters all squished together. So honestly, yeah, I mean, I would honestly choose the new one. I think it just looks a lot better. The original was just like straight up Mario letters, just spelling out Mario Tennis with no type of variety at all. So yeah, I'll go with the new one. Zelda logos have gone through really only 3 major changes. The original just being some basic 2D Zelda font. Then from like Link to the Past all the way to Triforce Heroes, we've had this red Zelda font with the sword going through it, or depending on the game, there'd be stuff around it. But yeah, it was just that basic red Zelda font. It was a little bit like a 2.5D font. But then with Breath of the Wild, we're seeing a new kind of wild era of Zelda font. It's back to that 2D basic style that's kind of like printed on the paper. We had that with Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and even now with Echoes of Wisdom. So yeah, it seems like Nintendo is indeed staying with that style of Zelda now. Personally, I really still love the original red that we've gotten from like the days of Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time. I really love that style. It's simple, but it's also effective. And I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of, you know, Breath of the Wild's logo taking the place of the natural logo for every future Zelda game. I think it should have just stayed with that game, but yeah, I prefer that red look that we used to get. F-Zero, I do like the original logo, how it's all just extremely tilted towards you in this weird 3D manner. It's strange, but I like it. It just kind of fits what F-Zero is, just a weird, strange game, where the new logo is just kind of a, you know, italicized modern font that's nothing really special. It's just silver. So yeah, I think I actually prefer the original. I really didn't even want to include Animal Crossing because the logos are literally identical still. They just, you know, have more detail. For instance, with New Horizons, you can see the little detail in the wood with the scratchings and the etchings and stuff. And then obviously the letters pop out a lot more with some shadows behind them. So overall, it's identical. It's the same logo, but just brought into HD, I guess. Now for Mario, I don't know why I waited this long in the video to do Mario, but you know, I guess because there's this many. But yeah, there's so many Mario logos and they're all changing based on the type of game, so it's really hard to pick a Mario logo. But at the end of the day, I decided to just, you know, go with the basic Mario logos that we've seen, which is just Super Mario. And we've only really seen 2 different ones. There's an old version to the left and a new version to the right. You can hardly tell the difference. There's some slight differences, but believe it or not, I think I prefer the original. I just like the way the text looks. It's more spaced out compared to the new version, which is kind of clumped together with that black outline. I don't know, I kind of like the original. Now 2D Mario logos do stay the same for the most part, and you have Super Mario Brothers pretty much exactly written out the same way, but this time it's more in 3D. It doesn't have that 2D look over it as it's classic from the DS. It got a modern upgrade with some of the new Super Mario Brothers games. Thankfully, Wonder takes off the new, which honestly makes it look so much better in my opinion. But yeah, you can tell the original always wanted to do that 3D look, and they've just finally done it now. For Wario Land, I don't really like the original, but I am mixed between Wario Land 3 and the new version we've seen with Wario Land 4 and Wario Land Shake It. It has this like little rock vibe and put into an arc, but it doesn't really represent Wario that much, you know? It just, you really can't tell what this would be if it was any other letters. You couldn't tell what game it was from. It's just kind of rocks. Why? I don't really know. But Wario Land 3, I think, fits Wario the best. It kind of has like little curls at the end of the letters to represent his shoes and like little spikes to maybe be his mustache and stuff. So I think it actually fits his theming a lot better. So I'd say Wario Land 3, and that's not just because I think Wario Land 3 is the best of all the Wario Land games. I love that game. Please don't at me. For Smash Brothers, we've only seen one big logo change, and that was going from 64 to Melee. And this is that one time I'd say, yeah, I think simplicity is best because Smash Brothers is kind of serious. It's fighting, and these characters, you know, it's more gritty. But I think a more confined, serious logo makes sense for this franchise. I never was a big fan of that 64 one. It just looks all weird and goofy, and just like it's not even like that much effort was put into it. like a kid just drew it up real quick. So yeah, I like what they're doing now with the logo. They made it extremely simple with Ultimate, so maybe they'll go more along the lines of the stylized form they had in Smash 4 with the Smash logo and the O looking a little, you know, a little different, and the red and blue flames coming out. I just like that logo a lot, so that would probably be my favorite one, but the modern logo is a lot better. Now, what about Paper Mario? Now, the original was actually really good. I love the way it just kind of drew Paper Mario out on this crumbled piece of paper. it makes sense, right? And even Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door did the kind of same thing, but in this time it's like it was cut out of pieces of paper instead of drawn on paper. So I think that was good too. And obviously we've seen that brought back with Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door remake, where now it's like a pop-up book of the paper sticking up out of the ground, which is really cool. But honestly, as much as I love that 64 version, I still think there's room to improve it, where the Mario letters just using yellow, red, and blue was strange to me, and I didn't really like it. Even though the modern games are trash, I love the modern look. I love it going from that red to that orangish yellow, and it's perfect. I don't know why. I just really love it. It's just eye-catching. It's popping to me, and it stands out more than any other one. For Mario and Luigi, Superstar Saga and Partners in Time kept the same looking logo, but has been updated since then, and I actually like the new style. It's just a lot better. I love the rounded edges with it feels like you can squish them. I love it, and the little white reflection of the light. I don't know, it looks more Mario and Luigi fitting, and I like the new and sign. I think it's a lot better. So yeah, I like what they're doing with this, and they're just kind of improving it. Personally, I think with Brothership, the logo could be a little bit more saturated. The colors of the red and green are a little darker and less in your face as things like Mario and Luigi Paper Jam and even Dream Team. So personally, I still like that really saturated color look that those games gave, but it's still a really good logo right now. Does Wii Fit even count? Is Ring Fit technically a new version of Wii Fit? Maybe. The logo font at least looks kind of similar, but I think it's safe to say that Ring Fit's just way better. It's more stylized, and actually I love the little zigzags of the eyes matching the hair of your character when they run and stuff. It's really good. I enjoy the new update. If this is exactly what they were doing, is this even a replacement for Wii Fit? I don't know. I just know the word fits in there, so I thought I'd compare them. For Mario vs. Donkey Kong, if I had to go classic or new, I would definitely go new. I think it's just a slightly better version of the original, just kind of upgraded, once again with the Mario letters actually reflecting what the Mario letter colors should be. And then we have Mario vs. Donkey Kong with the mini games. I actually think that logo is pretty good too, but I still rather go with the new form. I think the colors of the Mario letters just make perfect sense. And that was all the old and new logos from all of Nintendo's IPs. Now, of course, some of them didn't make the cut, for instance, like Splatoon, because they're all exactly the same pretty much. There's only been 3 games, so we can't really compare that yet. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know if I missed anything. I'm sure there's some type of series that I missed or really didn't cover here, but definitely let me know down below if I missed one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed videos like this and want to see more in the future. But thank you so much for tuning in, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.